Alright, we're going to do a little experiment here. This is the real idler flywheel off of my MM-1000, and it's upside down right now. I'm not going to flip it over right way because I've got the screws off the cover. That would come off and oil would go everywhere because this flywheel, as I've commented in the thread and pictured, is a special fluid-filled flywheel. This inner flywheel is the actual mass element, and there's silicone oil in here that this outer light shell, that's the one that the real idler roller actually connects to. Again, I'm not going to flip it right side up, but when the transport starts, this outer part spins, and then the oil gets, by centrifugal force, gets pushed to the outside, and then couples the heavier mass flywheel on the inside to the outside, and then they lock up. So there's less mass to get started, makes it easier for the transport to get started, but then as it gets up to speed, then it has its mass, and then the oil is a decoupling element, and that's how it helps to get rid of flutter, because there's a damping effect in there. Well, I've been concerned about whether or not mine's working right. It doesn't seem to be behaving quite right, but maybe it is, I don't know. So what we're going to do here is we're going to chuck it up in my handy hand drill. I've cut off a piece of a bolt, and we just put that up in there, or not, and then there's a couple of set screws there, so we'll tighten those down on there, and then we'll just put it in the drill and give it a little spin, and what we should see is the two get locked together once it gets up to speed. Bear with me. We want to make sure it stays on there. We're not going to do it too fast. The whole point is just to kind of simulate what it would be like in play mode. So we don't have to clamp that on there too tight. My quandary is that if there isn't enough oil in here, I have no idea where to get the right oil. I don't know what grade oil it is, and I'm still trying to figure out how much to put in there, but let's see what happens here. Come on. I have a bad cord on my drill. Isn't that funny? See that? So it's able to get started without that heavy mass on the inside, but then I'm really thinking there's not enough oil in here, because what should happen, I don't know, once that gets up to speed, I can't slow that down real well. It slows the whole drill down. That's pretty cool. So that's how it works. That's what's going on inside that thing. This may be the first video on the internet of this thing. There's lots of talk about it, but I don't know if anybody's ever seen it in action. And now you have. You'll find these viscous-damped real idler flywheels on the Ampex AG 448 1-inch 8-track. course, the MM-1000, any of the quad video transports from Ampex that from which the MM-1000 was derived. So we're talking about the VR1100, VR1200, maybe the VR1000. I don't know if that has this particular flywheel on it, but that's in the MM-1000 heritage. And I'm sure you'll find it on the VR2000. I think there's also a data recorder. Can't remember the model number. And then also I think the AG300. Don't quote me on that one. And the MR70. So there you go. Maybe it's working okay.